Are you looking to buy a house? You need to get a mortgage and you have no idea how to prepare and where to start? Stay tuned. This video is for you. Hey, what's up? It's Brian McCauley, your mortgage expert here in Dallas, Texas. So listen, you're buying a house. It's the biggest investment of your life. You're not gonna pay cash, so you need to get a home loan or a mortgage, and you're like, where do I start? What do I do? So I'm gonna walk you through a playbook today on how to prepare to get a home loan, because getting a home loan, the preparation for it is very similar to a job interview. You gotta make sure you're buttoned up so when you go in, you get the best results. So let's start with step one on getting a home loan. First and foremost, make sure that you find an experienced and qualified loan officer in your area. If you're in Texas, reach out to us, we can help you out. The best way to usually find a qualified lender is to connect with a realtor. Realtors in the area usually know who great, trustworthy lenders are, so you need to start there and get that point of contact. But let's talk about the financial documents, the assets, and the credit, the big things that lenders look for when they're gonna try to qualify you. So number one, let's talk about paperwork. You're gonna need your most recent 2 years financial documents. So depending on what you do for a living, you might need your tax returns, you might need your W-2s, you might need your 1099s. If you're a W-2 employee, you're gonna need your most recent 30 days pay stubs. Lenders are gonna look at all this stuff to figure out what type of income you have, how do you make it. They're gonna look deep into it, if it's like a salary, if it's hourly, if there's bonus, commission, overtime. So on the financial document piece, make sure ahead of time that you've got those 2 years of tax returns, 2 years of W-2s, and most recent 30 days pay stubs, okay? That'll keep your stuff clean, it'll be ready, and the lender can maneuver through it quickly to figure out exactly what your true income is from a qualification standpoint, all right? Part two is gonna be your assets. So what do I mean by assets? Well, if you're using cash for money down, 5% down, 10% down, whatever it is that you get set up, the lender is gonna wanna know how much money do you have. Now, just so you know up front, most lenders don't ask for the bank statements and everything up front. Number one, all the documents on a home loan are time sensitive, usually 30 to 60 days, so it doesn't do you any good to turn your bank statements in right now. By the time you get under contract, those will most likely expire, right? But what you need to be prepared to do is talk to your mortgage advisor about your cash and investment position. So if you've got 10,000 in checking, you've got 10,000 in savings, you need to tell them, hey, I've got $20,000 liquid. This is what I want to use for a down payment. We can prove it later, right? But they need to know up front what they're working with and also what you're working with, so that way there's no big surprises on the back end. If you've got investment accounts, stocks, 401ks, things like that, we will potentially need those as well. The more assets, the better. So whatever your financial portfolio looks like, go ahead and pull all those statements and get everything ready. You don't have to turn them into the lender, but I would personally at least have some type of like Excel spreadsheet or note to yourself, so you can tell the lender, I've got 20,000 here, I've got 20,000 in 401k, I've got 10 in crypto, I've got money over here, just so they understand the total cash position and value that you have, so it'll help them help you when it comes to navigating qualifications, but also structure on down payment. The third thing is one of the most important ones that people need to prepare for, that's the hardest, and people don't really know about it. It's your credit. I'm gonna do another video later on credit because it is a deep dive on the different models. There's auto scores, there's FICO scores, there's Vantage models, there's all these different scores, and they're all credit scores. But the long story short for you when you're preparing for a mortgage is you need to know what your true mortgage score is. You need to go to myfico.com. It has all 3 bureaus and you can sign up for it. I think it's like $25. It's the best money you'll ever spend. And once you get an account with MyFICO and get all 3 bureaus, when you get that dashboard at MyFICO, there's gonna be a little link at the bottom that says mortgage scores. You need to make sure and click on that so it'll show you the mortgage scores. MyFICO.com is one of the only platforms that I know of that will literally give you all the scores for each financial institution. So because you're wanting to get a mortgage, you want to know what's the mortgage lender going to see and what are they going to use. Now, every mortgage lender, or 95% of them, use the middle credit score of the 3. So if you have a 740, a 720 and a 700, they're going to grade you off the 720. This is important. If you pull those 3 credit scores with the bureaus and you don't like what you see, you can go in and look at your credit report and see what you can do on your own to improve the credit score position. Sometimes it's easy to do, sometimes it's hard to do. Most lenders, like myself, are usually partnered with some type of credit expert or credit attorney. So if we can't help you with the easy stuff up front, they can help you on the back end. But a lot of times the client or the consumer can go in and do a few things to improve their FICO score to get them a better financial position. But of course, the FICO score is tied into the interest rate. And what's weird about credit scores, it's a timing thing. What I mean by that is it's an imperfect algorithm. So a lot of times you and I will pay our credit card or our car bill or our payment or whatever, and mentally we check the box like, cool, I paid my credit card balance down from $2,000 to $1,000. Well, that credit card institution doesn't report those updates to the credit bureaus right then and there. They do it like every 30 days, so there's a lag, right? So what happens is that if you've paid down some credit cards or made some payments that could potentially improve your FICO score and it's not showing on the model yet through myfico.com, you need to update that information before the lender pulls your FICO score on their side so your credit score is as high as possible, therefore putting you in the best position to get a home loan, but also helping you qualify for the best interest rate. The last thing you want to do on preparation is give yourself some time. This market is tough. I see too many people hurrying through the process and skipping steps. It's the wrong way to get a home loan, and it's the wrong way to buy a house. So what you want to do outside of preparing your financials, talking about your assets, taking a preview of your credit, and getting everything right is give yourself a couple extra weeks. Here's what I mean. If you're 30 to 60 days out from buying a house, that's perfect timing. That way everything is clear, you have a good playbook, and it's not forced. If you don't need to do anything and you're set up for success, your mortgage advisor will tell you, and that's in your best interest because you eliminate all the risk and you're really prepared to buy a house, so it'll be a smooth experience. It will also help you win the offer. If you've got some challenges, which is, hey, I need to save up some money from the asset standpoint, or more importantly, I need to tighten up or clean up a few things on your credit, you don't want to be behind the 8 ball on the timeline. If you start too late and you've got to pay down some credit card balances or do some things to get the credit score where it needs to be, sometimes those things take time. Days, weeks, sometimes months, depending upon your specific position. So start early, and if you don't need anything, you're good. These are just a couple things to be prepared for when getting a home loan. Home loans are very invasive. Home loans are regulated at a federal level. So it doesn't matter if you're using Fairway Mortgage, if you're using Wells Fargo, Quicken Loans, all of these banks and lenders, they're not making their own rules. So you're not going to get a different decision at Bank of America versus Wells Fargo and Quicken, right? So you have to make sure that you are connected with the right people. The guidelines are very invasive. There's a lot of regulation, and sometimes, a beginner lender just doesn't know. So they might tell you no and it'd be wrong. They might tell you yes and it might be wrong. So this is why, going back to my first point, you must get with a mortgage expert. Think about your mortgage expert as your quarterback leading you down the field in the end zone. You get to select your quarterback. Your quarterback is your lender. Don't go cheap. You definitely need an experienced person to move the ball down the field for you. And again, if you know somebody, great. If you're in Texas, we'll help you out. If not, get with a realtor in your area, ask them who they recommend as an expert lender, and make that connection there and start your preparation. I'm aware that not all home loans go smooth, so what I'm trying to do is prepare you so that way you can eliminate all of the hiccups, and hopefully you won't have too many roadblocks along the way, and it'll set you up for success. Hopefully that's helpful for you. Listen, if you found this video helpful, do me a favor, go ahead and like the video. Subscribe to this channel to be the first to know more about mortgage secrets, financial tips, and stay ahead of the curve. If you've got questions about preparation for home loan in this specific video, do me a favor, leave a comment below. I promise that I will get back to you and respond to your comments. And the third piece is, look, if you want to have a consultation, you want to talk about something specific to your scenario, call us, email us, text us. You can reach out to us, set up a consultation, and we will be here to help. Until next time, stay tuned.